afternoon, welcome to Whitehaven Harbour. Lovely sunny day, just approving the harbour. There's some boats, and we're just about to set out on a walk, going from here to St Bees, and very conveniently here's a map of where we're going. So it's a bit straightened out here, but we're here, Whitehaven Harbour. So yeah, if you're coming to do this, there's Whitehaven Station on the other side of the harbour, and then we're going to come all the way along the coast here down to St Bees and finish at St Bees Station. Well, we're going to finish at one of the pubs up here, then go to the station. But yeah, there's a lot to go on along here. What we do, we come along this bit here outside Whitehaven, which was old mining land. Then we hit more bigger cliffs, come around to St Bees Head, which is all this bit along here. Try and stop off in Fleswick Bay for a little bit, it's a nice little quiet place. And then head on down to St Bees, up and down the cliffs. There's the distances, and that is about right. 6.4 miles to St Bees Beach. Takes me a bit less than 4 hours there. It's just currently about 4 o'clock, so we'll see how long it actually takes. But hopefully at the pub while they're still serving food. Anyway, and we have to start going up these stairs. So these walls along here, you went in the sort of part some seaside fort or whatever, some naval protection. They're actually the walls from the Wellington pit, which was here until the 20th century. It was a massive operation that actually went out deep into sea, and there was a so it was a massive fire here in 1910, 136 people killed. But yeah, they mined all the way out to sea from there, and this down here is the newest building in the town. It's called The Edge. It's a coastal activities centre. I'm not entirely sure what that's going to involve, but it should be properly opening soon. It's pretty much finished, as you can see. Looks impressive. Also looks like seeing out Star Wars, as everyone says. A nice view over the harbour from here. So yeah, we come up those stairs, we come around here, we go up again, and I'll show you the candlestick to Burley. Now that up there is the candlestick, which was the mine chimney. So where all the gases and the steam and smoke was vented out from the Wellington pit down below. Yeah, and that pit went all the way out to sea. A lot of the ones from here were some of the very first in the world to mine under sea, start on land and then mine. Yeah, some of them went out for a few miles out to sea along here. And that is called the candlestick because it was apparently, allegedly, whichever way you went, it was, the design of it was based on a candlestick from the Lowther family house. And the Lowthers were the family who owned most of the land around here and developed the town originally. So here we are up on the cliff path. There's Whitehaven down there, and you can see the edge of the harbour and the bay there. You're looking at there towards Workington and beyond over the coast. There's hills over there, Galloway in southern Scotland. That's the Irish Sea. just able to make out some hills in the distance there. I don't know how well they'll show up on camera. Beneath that cloud. That's the Isle of Man. And then this is where the path carries on along there. And then that's St Bees Head sticking out there. By the start of it anyway. And you can just see the lighthouse on top. And that up there is the old Hague pit. You can see all this land here was on top of mines. And there were plans, I'm not entirely exactly sure where, but I know it's around here somewhere, it's Woodhouse area, to build a new coal mine. You might have heard about it, all these talk about new coal mine in Cumbria. It would have been around here. Because the plan was to build it and then do what the old mines did and go out to sea, mine the scenes of coal out there. Now that's not happening there. There's been a lot of battles and I think it's still in the courts now, but I think at present it doesn't have permission to go ahead. But yeah, that would have been around here somewhere. But now it's just us. But yeah, this is why I think a lot of this is empty, is because it was mining land. And one of these things you see actually in Whitehaven a lot, there's quite a lot of empty space and fields and woods across the town. So for a town of its size, which is about 20,000 people, it actually covers a lot of space because there's a lot of empty space there that used to be mined. So you can't really safely build houses on, or roads or anything else like that. So you've got these big empty spaces in there. And these are some of them. So this bit here, just going to, I'll show you in a moment. It's about the last chance to back out and head back to Whitehaven, up that path there. Otherwise, we're going to be following that path all the way down those cliffs. It's lovely walking along here, just steady incline up. It's not steep cliff path. There are a couple of slightly steep bits coming up, but nothing too tricky. And this time and the time I did it before, and this is a great late afternoon evening walk because you've got the sun setting off to the west out of the Irish Sea. So this time of day you've got that long, lengthening shadows and lots of runners. And here we are at a quite important junction. That's where we've just come up from. As you can see here, we've been on the England coast path all this time, but now we've joined the coast to coast path, the Wainwright route, which starts in St Bees and goes all the way across to Robin Hood's Bay on the east coast. But that starts in St Bees and then comes all the way up St Bees Head and then heads off, rather than go down into Whitehaven, heads off that way towards Dentville. Oh, sorry, I just spun you around a bit there. Yeah, there's actually still a working quarry down here, so do watch out when you're coming through. But yeah, this is just coming onto the headland down through this bit, and then we've got a long straight bit down past the lighthouse and everything towards St Bees. And as you yeah, so now we're up on top of the cliffs. It becomes farmland all around. So we just follow the path right here at the edge. just keep walking, and it's a lovely spring evening walk. It's a bit cool when the sun goes behind the clouds, but you may have overestimated weather by wearing shorts today, but oh well, I'll keep moving. And there is St Bees Lighthouse. Coming to now actually on the headland. The old lighthouse building there, I think. But what that also means is we're now at the westernmost point of Cumbria, which is, I think, the westernmost point of northern England. And over there you can now see the Isle of Man quite clearly. And there we are, well past halfway. Just a nice little stroll across the fields to come, while avoiding cowpats. So if you can see ahead there, that point up on top of those sort of reddish cliffs. Oh, wasn't that around something? That is the south point of St Bees Head. Or further around from there, and that's the bit where most people think about when they refer to St Bees Head, because that's the bit you can see from the town and the beach, St Bees. But yeah, when we get up there, that's pretty much the end of the cliff walk, and we walk down into the village from there. But you might be noticing the geography of the land ahead of us and the way it's dipping down. It's because we do have one last drop and climb, quite a big one. It goes down to sea level. Well, actually we will go down to sea level this time, because we're going to go down to the beach at Fleswick Bay. So yeah, there's Fleswick down there, and here's the descent. So okay, so I wasn't recording a bit there, so I'm not quite sure. I thought I'd started it, but no, I don't think I had, so I'll do that again just to be... This is Fleswick Bay. I'll show you where I've walked down. Very shingly down here. Easy. Walked all the way down there. You can see where the fence is, where the path comes down, and then just down this little gully here. Would have filmed it when I was going on there, but it was a bit, as you can see, it's a bit rocky and a bit uneven. I was having to find my feet, but also picked up a bunch of litter on the way. Plastic bottles that people were just throwing away on the sides there, or they'd maybe fallen down from on top. I don't know, but whatever it is, please don't litter, folks. It's really annoying. It's really not good for the environment. It means people like me have to carry empty plastic bottles around in our bags for a while until we can find a litter bin. Right, there's the Isle of Man over there. As I say, I'm going to take a break for 5 minutes, and then we're going to do the last bit into St Bees. And here's the path ahead. Again, just want to keep my balance coming up the gully there, so it's quite simple actually once you've been down there. You see some people are obviously being a bit more adventurous as well. I'm coming up or going down. But not past some bees now. And now we're coming closer down to some bees, which is just below us, just behind where all those crows are, and down below. We're going to head down to there where that little crop, little stone thing is. Out in the distance, the big hill is Black Combe. I think I mentioned that last week. And in front of it, you can see some of the towers and the buildings, and that's Sellafield. It's the former nuclear power station and nuclear reprocessing plant and various other things they've done there. Originally Calder Hall, then Windscale, now Sellafield, and maybe in the future Moorside, because they are planning to build, or there are plans to build, another nuclear power station right next to that. We'll see if that happens. And then, as we come around here towards Bees Head, you get the most amazing view of the Lakeland Fells. So here's the plaque that tells you which is which over there. And we can look back up there, by the way we came. Walked all the way along that. There, and then lovely sunset out towards Yellowman. Right, let's go to the pub. Okay, right, here we are in St Bees. We're almost in St Bees. It's a bit of a weird thing because you've got, look at it, this bit of St Bees here, which is the beach, foreshore, and you've got the caravan park and all that around here. But then the main village is still another 10 minutes walk away, and there's a big gap between the two. But it's nice and flat around there. As you saw, hang on, I'll put you onto. It's a bit of a steep descent down from there. Some bits obviously quite heavily foot traffic. You know, it's the start of the coast to coast. Actually, we just went past the sign for that. Should have. It's down there. And then, yeah, but just lots of people like to walk up there, and it's quite steep, so it can be a bit precarious. Bakehouse Cafe over there is really nice. They've just taken it over this year. So Still fitting it out. And I haven't been in it yet, but I know the guy who runs Wild Sauna, RX4 Lakes. Same guy who does Sunday morning swims here. Now there's one bit along here. It's a little bit of personal history. We came here on holiday. I think it was 77. We stayed in a house around here. We called it the black and white house because it was black and white. And I don't know which one it is. One of these days I'm going to have to get my brother up here because he was older than me at the time, so he might have a better memory. Maybe one of those ones down there, but a lovely time. I remember there was a place, in the walls there's a little hollow, the snails hung out, and we get them out of there and have snail races. And that's the kind of wild thing we did back in the 70s. Anyway, one last look at the view. So there's some bees. There's two pubs. And we're going in the first one, Queen's Hotel.
It was a nice change for once. The weather's been nice enough. Do you believe
So, just been to the pub, had a couple of pints, lovely sweet chilli chicken bao buns. That was unexpected and really nice. Yeah, there's a bao bun on the menu and got two. So, hey, right, just walking back to the station now. It's almost 9:30. I think this is one bit it's taken me a while to get used to being up further north. It's just how light, it's still May. Still got 6 weeks until midsummer. And it's still really light and it's almost, it's 9:15. To show you actually. Right, here we are St. V station for the last train back to Whitehaven, 9:25. It's actually getting a little cold now. Yeah, so I'm going to wait here. Waiting box. But yeah, been a really good walk. Nice. Couple of pints and food after. So this is the last train back to Whitehaven. I jump on that. Then a quick walk home, and then yeah, it's a day done. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed watching it. See you next time.